On November 2nd, I attended North Carolina Pedal Pop-Up in Raleigh, North Carolina, where several different local pedal builders showcased their gear, and I was not only surprised at how many there actually were around here, but the quality and innovation of their products. Now, I didn't find out about it until like 4 days before it happened, so I was kind of ill prepared, and it's been a long time since I interviewed anybody like this, so, well, it's not my best work. Plus, I didn't know what to expect. Didn't know it was going to be outside. I didn't bring a tripod. I should have thrown one in the truck, but some of the video is a little bit shaky. So you're just going to bear with me. But everybody was cool, answered a few questions I asked them, and I even shot some demo footage of some pedals that didn't come out very well, and I'm not including that in this video because it really wouldn't have done these pedals any justice. And I think with the quality of these pedals, you really need to hear good recording. So I'm going to include a bunch of links to YouTube shorts and whatnot down in the description so you can check out some of these builders and some of the great pedals that they have to offer. I hope to do it again sometime, and I've got a demo of a really cool pedal I bought from Humanoid while I was there, and that'll be posted within the next week or so. Thanks for watching. I'm Scott with Guitarnivore, and I'm here at the Rebus Works in Raleigh, North Carolina, and they're having the Carolina Pedal Pop-Up, and I'm here with Chris from Dusky Guitars. Chris, can you tell us a little bit about Dusky Guitar, or I'm sorry, Dusky Amplifier, Dusky Electronics? I'm getting there.
Dusky Electronics. Basically, it's something I started about 10 years ago because I was building stuff, and I was already doing it, so I put a name on it and started putting it out there for the public to consume, and people have bought stuff since.
And how did you get into pedal building? And well, I guess amp. Did you start out as amp or pedal builder?
I started out with amps, but I've always been sort of a general purpose tinkerer. I ran a recording studio for a long time, not a super busy one, but I had a recording studio in my house for a long time and spent a long time listening to things, but I was also attracted to sort of the technical side of things. I have kind of an engineering mindset, so I started buying vintage tube amps and repairing them, because if you have a vintage tube amp, you're going to have to repair it, and sort of started gaining knowledge that way, and just studied electronics more. My day job is I'm a computer programmer, and so analog electronics was a completely different problem domain for me, which is nice. So I like sinking my brain into something different.
What do you consider your flagship, flagship product or flagship amplifier?
So my flagship product is the D2O amplifier, which is this head on the bottom here. So that's the head on the bottom there is the D2O amplifier. D2O is the chemical formula for deuterium oxide, which is heavy water. And I named it that because it has a clear sound, but it has weight to it. It's like a heavy but clear sound. Okay. It's currently the only amplifier I make. I did bring a prototype of a second Dusky amplifier that should be seeing the light of day sometime, and that's this brown thing on the top. It's not a huge departure from the D2O, but it's a little bit smaller, a little bit lighter, a little bit lower powered, and has some options for getting gainier sounds out of it.
Do you have any advice for somebody that wants to get into amp or pedal building?
Don't. No, I mean, I don't really have any real advice. It's just if whatever it is you get into, if it's something you're already doing because you're into it, then you're on the right path. If you're looking for something to do to make money at, then maybe keep looking. But if it's just something that you're drawn to and would be doing regardless, then just do it.
Chris from Dusky Amps out of where?
Durham, North Carolina.
Thank you, Chris. I'm here with Ben from Caroline Guitar Company. Ben, can you tell us a little about Caroline Guitar Company?
Yeah, we're from Columbia, South Carolina. I've been around 14, 15 years now. It's been going all right. We make fun stuff to kind of entertain ourselves as much as anything. But yeah, I am Philippe's GM, and then Philippe, who's not here today, but you may have seen on our YouTube channel, Designs everything. Really great ears. And yeah.
So, how did you get into building guitar pedals?
For me, I was repairing guitars for a long time and in Charleston. And I called Philippe in the summer of 2013. And I was like, hey man, I saw the Kilobyte. I missed out on the Kickstarter, but I would really love to get one. And Philippe was like, oh man, really appreciate it, but we're like so inundated right now. Like, don't necessarily have extras to do a direct sale, and we're just pretty underwater. So maybe call me back once we get these out and we can do one for you. And I was like, oh, I totally understand, man, but I actually know how to solder. I can maybe come help. And Philippe said, yeah, maybe. When are you free? And I was like, Monday. He's like, great, I'll see you on Monday. And then click.
Now, did you know anything about building guitar pedals besides soldering?
Soldering, I was a fan, I guess.
Okay.
I hadn't built a ton. I'd done a lot of active preamps and guitars, and the guitar focused stuff. But mostly I was just a pedal customer. But yeah, it's been cool. It's been a real journey. That was right when Kilobyte came out. Shortly after that, Meteor came out 2015. That really took off for us. And yeah, still going, still doing it.
What would be Caroline's flagship pedal?
Wave Cannon is very much like I think of as our flagship in terms of our identity as a brand. It's overdrive distortion, this crazy Havoc stuff. We just released this new version of it that came out middle October. So this I think very much of is our flagship. The Kilobyte, Meteor, Somersault have all been our best selling pedals, just being modulations and reverbs versus overdrives. That's kind of how it works.
And one last question: in a world of mass production and copycat tones and clones, how does Caroline Guitar Company stand out from the rest?
It is a densely populated industry, I guess now, saturated. I think mostly we just chase the things that we like that, are enjoyable to our tastes. And then I think, the people that have come along on that journey with us enjoy those same things too. And, it's no rocket science, but it's really fun and we really enjoy it a lot.
All right, well, thanks, Ben. I appreciate it. This is Ben with Caroline Guitar Company out of Columbia, South Carolina. All right, I'm here with Matthew from Alexander Pedals. First, tell us a little bit about Alexander Pedals.
So we started Alexander Pedals in 2015. We're located in Raleigh, North Carolina, southeast Raleigh, and we make all kinds of things, but we specialize in sort of oddball digital effects. So we do bit crushing, bit shifting, delays, reverbs, modulation. So we do gain pedals as well, but we're really focused more on the sort of sound bending aspects of guitar effects.
What was the first pedal that you designed?
Long story, I made boost pedals in the early 2000s, boost, drive, echo, with a different company called Faro Amplifiers, a long time ago. But the first Alexander pedal was called the Amnesia, and so there's hundreds of them out there. They're a vintage style delay, so it's a digital delay, but it's designed to sound like analog bucket brigade delay effects. Yeah.
And what would you consider your flagship pedal?
Our best-selling pedal has been the Syntax Error. So you can put up a card on the screen. It'll be right here. It's a sample crushing 8-bit dial-up modem sounding pedal. Yeah. It sounds like a Nintendo. Yeah. We have its successor, the Syntax Error 2, right here. So this is the successor to that. This is the extra fancy version. So this is more like a Super Nintendo.
And your company slogan is "Great tones, do good." Can you? Everybody knows what great tones are. Can you tell us more about the "do good" part?
Yeah, absolutely. So Alexander Pedals is named for my late brother, Alexander Faro, who passed away in 1987 of a form of cancer called neuroblastoma. And so every pedal we sell, we take a little piece of that and we donate it to a charity in his name. So if you buy a pedal from us or from any of our dealers, we're going to give a little bit back It depends, but it's usually around $5 per pedal. So that'll give you an idea about how much we donate back to charity. The charities that we have donated to in the past have included St. Jude's Children's Hospital, Camp Carefree, which is a camp in central North Carolina for kids with cancer, their siblings, kids with cystic fibrosis, spina bifida, and a few other chronic long-term ailments. And we've also donated to the American Red Cross and several other charities, but we mostly focus on childhood cancer charities. In the month of June, we donate that money instead to the Trevor Project, which is a project that it's an outreach program that benefits LGBTQ trans kids, basically support services, suicide prevention. So,
This is Matthew with Alexander Pedals. Thank you.
thank you.
I'm here with Richard with Flickinger Tone Boxes. Richard, tell us a little about Flickinger Tone Boxes.
Okay, well, it's a company I started in 2010 and made a bunch of different pedals for a bunch of different places, and now I just make my original pedal, the Angry Sparrow. It's a full-range gain boost distortion pedal. Works for most instruments, guitar, bass, synth. I built it specifically for baritone guitar because I started playing baritone guitar in about 2007. And nothing sounded good on it. You know, it sounded great straight into the amp, but any of the gain pedals, you know, that did anything significant really cut off a lot of the bass. And I really like to use my volume control when I'm playing. So the Angry Sparrow is designed to do that. It gives you volume boost if you want it, gives you distortion if you want it, and allows you to use your volume control to keep that, and it keeps all the bass, which won't work for everybody's setup. You know, it's the opposite of like a rat pedal that's going to give you that focused, I want these frequencies to be awesomely loud. This is, you get everything, whether you
So
want it or
a
not.
focus more on the bottom end, but not taken away from the rest of the
No,
frequencies.
yeah, it's more it takes the whole signal and makes it louder.
Okay.
Right, so that's not always desirable in every situation, right? You know, and people talk about the word transparent, right, which is ridiculous because you're changing it. If you want it transparent, you just plug straight into the amp, right? So it's trying to figure out what you want to keep of your guitar sound, and I feel like the pedal keeps what I want from the sound. The things that it's adding are things that I want to add, but it's not taking away things that I wish were still there. You know, I've tried out a bunch of pedals. I'll play something I really like how it sounds, but you know, I play through a setup that also includes a bass amp. And when the bass amp turns off when I put the pedal on, you know, that's obviously not going to work in that situation. And it's very true. There's been a lot of overdrive pedals that I've tried over the years, even since I've made my pedal. Because, you know, maybe something's made now. There's hundreds more pedal companies now than there were 14 years ago. So there's a lot more options. And there's probably several other things that would do something like that for me now. But none of them, I keep going back to my own pedal. It's the pedal I use on my board. So.
Now, besides your pedal, what is your all-time favorite guitar pedal, stomp box?
My all-time favorite guitar pedal, I mean, you got to go with the fuzz face. That's kind of in terms of what I wanted my pedal to sound like. I wanted it to do the things a fuzz face would do, that it would clean up and I could play single coils through and get that sparkle, but then turn my volume up and it be this thing, but without as much danger. Right, especially, you know, a germanium fuzz face, it can kind of be all over the place. So, you know, if you think like a silicon fuzz face, you know, that's kind of where the space that I was trying to work with. So that's, yeah, I would say that's probably of all time, you know.
So what do you think is the hardest part about building guitar pedals?
Deciding how many you want to make. You know, if you're like somebody who because anybody can build guitar pedals, right? Especially, you know, a lot of the pedals on the market are some version of something that is, you know, you can't copyright a schematic circuit. It's not copyrightable. So, you know, when you have the basic plans, you can build it. So if you want to build pedals, you can build pedals. Now, if you want to build pedals and make money, then it's like, okay, well, how many pedals? How much money do I make? And so that's really the hardest part. And I've gone through different phases. It's like, because it's one of those things, if I want to build 25 pedals, they're going to cost a lot less to build than if I want to build one pedal. And if I want to build 1,000 pedals, they're going to cost way less. But it would, how long was this going to take to build 1,000 pedals? So.
Well, thank you, Richard. Once again, Richard with Flickinger tone boxes. Thank you. I'm here with Mike from Acid Guitar Electronics. Okay. Out of
Raleigh.
North Carolina. And Mike, tell us a little bit about Acid Guitar Electronics.
So it's more or less just a side hustle. I build custom pedals. I have a few pedals in my own line, and fix amps and stereo equipment for a living. And I work at Disaster Area and Alexander Pedals during the day and come do this by night.
How did you get into fixing electronics and building guitar pedals in general, I guess?
I got sick of working in kitchens, so I learned how to read a schematic and went from there.
What's your favorite guitar pedal ever?
Fuzz face, hands down. It sucks when it comes fresh out of a box, but there's a couple things you can do to it to make it sound killer, so that's the kind of thing I'm into.
And tell me, what is your opinion on lead-free solder?
Oh, it doesn't work good.
And why is that?
I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
So, Mike, what do you consider your flagship pedal?
Oh, the acid face. It is my take on, germanium fuzz face, except louder, meaner, and has a bias control so you can get all the Velcro you want in a fuzz.
Now, if you could collaborate with any pedal builder in the world, who would it be?
I got to give it to the guys at Electronic Audio Experiment, John Snyder. He's amazing at what he does, and I love all of his work, so probably him. The Thorazine boost goes from just a loud, clean boost all the way to Volume 4 Black Sabbath type fuzz sounds. This is the Easy Action. It is kind of like it's a recreation of a late 60s fuzz tone circuit with a blend control on the gain and voice to kind of sound like one of my favorite guitarists, Glenn Buxton from the Alice Cooper Band. And then the acid face is my take on a germanium fuzz face. Louder and a little bit more Velcro-y.
Thanks, Mike. Acid Electronics out of Raleigh, North Carolina. And now I'm here with Causey from Diorama Pedals. So, Causey, tell us a little bit about Diorama Pedals.
I don't know. I just kind of wanted to do something in music. I worked at Alexander Disaster Area Designs for like 2 years, and I didn't know anything about pedals before then. And then, kind of just learned the process. Started designing PCBs on my own time. And then, I got these. Yeah, it's just a multi-layered PCB. And that's sort of the concept. It's more of a piece of art than it is a pedal, but yeah.
And what exactly does the Nitro Boost do? I mean, it sounds self-explanatory, but
Yeah, it's a boost I don't know. It's sort of just like not too dissimilar from what are those things called? The EP booster. Yeah, it's basically one of those. But I just wanted to do something fun with it.
what is your all-time favorite guitar pedal?
Yeah, honestly, the one I've used the most and I've played in, I've used pretty much in every single band I've ever been in. It's been a whammy. I don't know. Yeah, a whammy.
Oh,
a
yeah?
Digitech whammy.
Digitech whammy?
Yeah, I use it in everything. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's the one I use the most.
one you use the most?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
What is the hardest aspect of building a guitar pedal?
Probably building it is just the amount of time that it takes to, I was tired of hand soldering all of the through-hole components, so I figured out how to get the people that send me my PCBs to, transferred everything to surface mount. So now I'm just doing surface mount, and then they'll populate my boards for me. maybe I'm lazy. I don't know. It just takes a lot of time, and this isn't my job. So, yeah, I don't know. I play in 2 other bands too.
Okay.
So
So you got the natural boost. Do you have any other plans for any pedals in the future?
yeah. My I wanted to try to have it done today, but unfortunately not. I have a fuzz that's on the way. It's really close. It's basically a tone bender. It's a modded tone bender, but sort of the same concept, layered PCB. But the LEDs, I had to figure out how to program microcontrollers to get the LEDs to work the way I wanted to. So it's sort of like one of those, those like light bulbs that are like flames, like they flicker. It's one of those, and it's going to be included in the design of the PCB. And the volume knob of the fuzz pedal will control the brightness of the LEDs, and then the like fuzz pot or the fuzz knob controls the rate of speed at which the flame flickers. I don't know, it'll be pretty cool. Sort of a death and destruction sort of scene instead of a nature scene like that one, but yeah.
So more than just a pedal, it's a work of art, like you said earlier.
Yeah, it's more of a piece of art than anything. Like, I can't compete with a lot of these guys sound-wise, but like I can do something cool with the look. Yeah.
All right. Well, awesome. Thanks once again, Causey, Diorama Guitar Pedals, out of
Raleigh. Yeah.
out of Raleigh, North Carolina. All right. Thank you. I'm here with Bill from Humanoid FX, and Bill, tell us a little bit about Humanoid FX.
Yeah, well, Humanoid FX has been around maybe 2.5 years now. Basically started as a passion project. I wanted to build the pedals that I didn't want to buy and have something custom along with them, and it was easy for me with just my experience of tinkering around and swapping hardware and pickups and guitars and stuff when I was a kid, and so it's just put something together, and I can have the awesome guitar pedal that I really, when I was a kid, it was hard to find or get the things that you need, and then now that had a little time and money and some hobbyist kind of action, I sort of decided people might want some of these, and I put I wish I could just make them and give them away. If I won the lottery, I'd probably do that, because I really just want people to have something that's cool, that they'll use, sounds great, and if people like it, that's great. They can come here and test around and play on them on the site. I got demos that more professional people than me have been able to do. But yeah, I want to also give a little bit of a sci-fi sort of horror movie theme a little bit, just to be fun. Make some cool designs and stuff.
We're going to touch back on that with the last question, but sure. So what is your favorite guitar pedal of all time?
Oh, geez. Yeah, well, I guess at this point, it's going to be something basic, like for a distortion, I like the Rat, the Rat. But I do like the Prince of Tone for an overdrive. It's got, the 3 settings, the overdrive, the boost, and the distortion setting, and it's great. And my Entity pedal is similar, in sound, but it's a different design. But I really do like the Analog Man stuff. Okay.
And what is your flagship pedal, would you say?
Oh yeah, I think the flagship is the Goblin. Yeah, it's gone through a few iterations of kind of a basic, white with green text, and then I've done black with white text and all sorts of different colors, and it's been great, and it's very cool, and it's flexible because it's a fuzz face, distortion preamp, right? So but it's also got a gain, so you can adjust the fuzz all the way up and down, but not just that, but also the gain too. So it's been one of the first ones, and it's been consistently popular. So
what was your very first guitar pedal ever?
Oh God, it was a Dunlop Crybaby. Yeah, I had an amp. The amp was doing the distortion for me on the. I had the solid state Marshall valve state, right? I didn't know anything about tube amps or solid state. I just was like, I want that Marshall, right? And I got it. And then I got the wah pedal. And then after that, I was like, I need something high gain. And I didn't know about the Rat really, or any stacking pedals or anything. And the only thing I could get was that DOD death metal. And it's just so mid, and it's just so you can't dial anything into it. It was way worse than a Metal Zone. But yeah, that was those were the first ones, man. Memories, right?
Cool.
Still have
Yeah.
it.
You still have
I still have it. Yeah, it works. I did replace the roll. What was it? The thing that catches onto the roller with the teeth was messed up. I had to replace that, and I got a part, and it was like only a couple bucks. And it took 2 seconds, and it was brand new again. You know.
Is that before or after you started building?
I think I finally fixed that after I started building, but it was sitting around forever. It was like dented, you know, and I hadn't used it for. I mean, I'm not sitting around doing wah pedal stuff anymore. You know, I was in a band, you know, thrash metal, playing the lead guitar. I guess I thought I was the lead guitarist, you know. But yeah, it's just all good fun, man. I should have brought it so people can wank on it here, right?
Well, with a wah pedal, everybody's lead guitarist, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, last question. Since you have the whole spooky ghost and goblin theme going on, let me ask you this. If you had to be cursed or maybe blessed by one of these, which would you rather be, a vampire or a werewolf?
Oh my gosh. You know what? That's tough because I guess the werewolves have like a bunch of time where they're just normal, you know, and they can go out in the sunlight. But I think I'd have to go with vampire because I'm honestly, I don't know if I want to live forever, but I think that I don't like being in the sun. It's too hot, and I have, you know, I get burned so fast, so I got to go vampire. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks once again, Bill with Humanoid FX.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bill.
Awesome. Thank you.